What up? It's the Grandpa MC coming at you with another video. Like, subscribe, share, comment. All right, man. It's been a minute. I've been, due to the work schedule, I ain't been able to film this type of video. So I'm gonna take advantage of my schedule today. So, but I mean, I've been gathering information. Don't get me wrong. I've been gathering information. I got some stuff. So, this particular video is about the Mind Game podcast that Steve Nash is on this year. Last year was JJ Redick. He got a job out of that. I think that's what's going to be the end result out of this. So, Steve Nash opens up. Before I go into the Steve Nash opening, it seemed like, well, I've watched 3 episodes. Yeah. So, each episode opens up with LeBron talking, just doing random talking and stuff, and then it kicks in. So, Steve Nash goes into, doing his little intro. Then he starts highlighting his move, which is the Nash dribble, which, all that is just maintaining your dribble so you can, make a move when the defense opens up. So that's all that is. So, LeBron comes on, talking about, I think it's only right that we have to talk about you, man. Then he waves his hand like certain individuals do. uh, so the the podcast goes on, and Steve Nash is highlighting his dad as an influence because he said his dad would talk to him about certain things that he wouldn't do in the game, certain things he would see, things of that nature. He notes Wayne Gretzky as an influence, especially the dribble that keeping his dribble until he found the crack in the defense, like Wayne Gretzky would do when he would try to score. He would go around the back of the goal and then come back on the other side and score the goal. And you can see that. One thing that I can get out of these podcasts is Nash is setting LeBron up. He's basically being his podcast point guard, leading LeBron into whatever direction he wanted to go to in that particular podcast. This one, it was about mostly Steve Nash. So Steve Nash detailed his development. Then LeBron went into, was it him or the coach that was the reason for the success of those Phoenix Suns teams at that time. Steve Nash showed some humility and some common sense by giving props to D'Antoni and the players too. It was just all things fell into place for that Phoenix Suns team because they had a lot of talent. Shawn Marion is one of the best role players of his time, of all time, really, because he was very versatile. He could score. He was defender, rebound, all that. Especially his early days, he was getting double doubles like it wasn't nothing. The Matrix, that was his nickname, Shawn Marion. Amari Stoudemire. That Phoenix Sun team was very talented. All Steve Nash had to do was set them up, and it all fell into place. The rules, all that. And they go into that about the rules, the hand checking and all that. Steve Nash detailed it as dodgy. Dodgy. So, another thing I can get out of these conversations, LeBron knows his numbers. Of course, everybody knows that. LeBron is a big stat head. LeBron, you could tell LeBron really doesn't like offense that is more favorable to the big man. He mentioned 4 out, which is his favorite play, his only play really, 4 out. One thing that I can gather out of that conversation about the Phoenix Suns is that LeBron loves Mike D'Antoni, which fits his style because he doesn't play a whole bunch of defense nowadays. He had been playing defense for about a good 10 years or so. Not serious defense. It's been situational, very situational. Let's see. If LeBron is such a big student of the game, like why I don't understand how he couldn't figure out that's what Steve Nash was doing with his dribble, keeping the dribble alive. Because I mean, they tell that the point guards all the time keep the dribble alive and all this other stuff. So, if LeBron was such a big student of the game, I mean, I don't know if that was just to keep conversations going with Steve Nash, but like, I mean, that's easy to decipher what Steve Nash was doing. If you watch Steve Nash all those years, he was probing the defense, trying to get a crack in the defense when his defender would, turn a certain way, slip up, miss assignments, all that leads into what Steve Nash was about around that time. He was a probe of the defense, try to find an open man or find a shot for himself. And the rules helped him because, I mean, like, his first few years, he wasn't getting a lot of burn. I remember him on Phoenix Suns. He was somebody that they talked about saying that he could be, but he wasn't getting a lot of clock. But that Phoenix Suns team, I'm pretty sure that it had Jason Kidd, Kevin Johnson, and him, and I think Penny was on that squad too. So that was a lot of ball handlers. So I mean, that might have been part of the reason, but I digress from that point. Another point that I want to make with that the podcast, that episode, was that LeBron listed his top 6 players, because he named 6, but those are his top 6 players in my mind that he listed, but he listed it in reverse order. He said it on the podcast: Magic, Bird, Shaq, Kobe, Mike, and Steph. But if you been peeping LeBron out, you can kind of get, he's modeled his game after Steph. And, we know about the Mike and the Kobe thing. Shaq is an interesting thing because he's basically doing the same thing Shaq was doing, except he's doing it from the top of the key going down. Shaq used to do it from the box to the basket. So, interesting tidbit. LeBron, I mean, I hate to say it, but I don't hate to say it, but man got a Ken doll. He comes off real zesty. A lot of feminine energy coming from LeBron on these podcasts. Let's see. And that's pretty much it. This episode was the Steve Nash episode where, he wanted to give Steve Nash a bone. That's just what it is, man. So that's my thoughts on that particular episode of the Mind the Game podcast. I'm watching these things just to get some more insight. I really, it's hard for me to sit through listening to LeBron because it's all cap. So those are just my thoughts on it. Grandpa out.